So the chicken is just cooked through, even a little undercooked, and that's okay because we're going to cook it some more. So now I'm going to pull apart the chicken with 2 forks, just kind of tear it apart and make it as small as possible.
So what are you doing there?
So I'm using 1 fork to hold the piece of chicken, and then the other fork to just kind of drag it apart and really pull apart those muscles, really is what they are. And again, it's okay if it's a little underdone because it's going to continue to cook in the water and the spices. Now that all the chicken is pulled apart, we're going to add those diced onions that we diced earlier to the chicken. Give it a good shake. Make sure all those onions are incorporated into the chicken. And then, here's the magic. We're going to add water to it.
How much water is that?
That was 2 cups. And then I'm going to put about a half of the spice mixture, and you can save the other half for something later. Just keep it in a Ziploc baggie, or if you have an empty spice bottle, you can put it in that. And just mix it around. If there's any other big bits of the chicken, you can just continue to do the same thing. Just pull it apart. And we're going to leave that to simmer. Turn the heat down to about medium. And I'm going to get started on my guacamole and dice up some mango. So we're going to make our guacamole, everyone's favorite part of a Mexican meal, or at least my family's anyway. You want to cut the avocado all the way lengthwise and just twist it and open it right up. Some people like to use the knife to get out, but I find the knife sticks and you're in danger of cutting yourself. So I'm just going to pull it right out of there. And you want to make sure when you're choosing avocados that they're a little soft to the touch, but not too soft, because then you're going to wind up with black avocado and you just don't want that. So as soon as you get it open, you're going to just use a spoon, a big spoon, and dig all around the fruit. As soon as that's done, don't forget to compost. We're going to cut a lime in half and just squeeze half the lime into the avocado. If you don't have a juicer, you can actually use your spoon and press the lime against the spoon to get out all the little last bit of juice. Okay, my secret ingredient is granulated garlic. I love this stuff. Just give it a good shake. You can always add more later. And with my giant pepper grinder, I like a lot of pepper. I think it gives it a lot of flavor, so I'm just going to get my work out and grind a good bit of pepper. It's probably going to wind up being about half a tablespoon. Then my favorite ingredient of all time, salt. Just sprinkle over the top, and that's about all you want for right now, because you can always go back and add more, but you can't take it away. Now to mix this together, instead of using a fork to mash it or a spoon, I like to use a knife, because avocado is so delicate, it will just get mashed up, and I like a chunky guacamole. And you'd think that a knife wouldn't mix it together, but it does a great job. And you're left with those nice big chunks of avocado. Now I don't add anything in addition to this, because I think Adding the lime juice and the salt and the pepper brings out the natural flavor of the avocado, and you just can't beat it. It's one of nature's most perfect foods, and I love it. Okay, give it a little taste, see if it needs any more salt or pepper. Chicken looks like it's about halfway reduced. Okay, so we're just going to give that a little stir. And then we're going to give a good shake to the vegetables. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, you're going to lose a bunch of vegetables, just go ahead and use a spoon. I like to use just a wooden spoon. And since we still have more time on both of these, I'm going to use that time to dice up some mango. One of my favorite all-time fruits, ripe mango. And they have to be exactly ripe, or else they have a grainy texture, and if they're too ripe, then they just taste fermented. So this one has a good give to it. I think it's going to be great. You see how it is lengthwise, but on this side it's wide and this side it's skinny. So you want to cut down the skinny side because there's a giant pit in there, and you want to try and avoid the pit. I think that's probably about all the mango we're going to need. We just want it as a little accent to the burrito. And then you're just going to take your knife and peel the skin. I like to try and get a big piece of skin. It's just a little fun. Don't forget to compost. And then we're just going to cut it into 2 big medallions, and then just give a smallish dice. Not tiny, but not giant either, because you already have so much in the burrito that you want to make sure that you have room. And so good. I can't wait for these burritos. Just a fun little accent I like to put on these burritos. Everyone loves sour cream on their burritos, but you know, usually we get the full fat kind. But now we're using a fat-free sour cream, which a lot of people don't think has a lot of flavor. So what we're going to do is add some flavor to it. And you know, we don't really think of curry when we think Mexican. However, the flavors are very closely related to Mexican, and I'm just going to put just a little bit of curry powder into this sour cream and just mix it around, and it just adds a nice sweet smoky note and really just goes so well with all the other flavors, and it just makes it so much different than any burrito that you would just, you know, get out at a Mexican restaurant. Looks like our chicken is about 75% of the way there. Just give it a nice little stir. And at this point, I'm just going to taste a little bit to see if we need to add any more seasoning. You saw that, didn't you? It's incredible. It doesn't need anything else. I'm going to give my vegetables another toss. And I'm going to give these a taste too, see if they need any more salt or pepper. I think it could use a little bit more salt. What a surprise. And you know what? I'm just going to add a little bit of this seasoning to the vegetables too. I'm going to let those go for just about another minute to let that salt and seasoning set in, and then I'm going to turn those off. As those are finishing up, I'm going to get prepared to wrap the burrito.